what's going down. If you're watching right now, I don't know what you're seeing, but you're watching Just Talking with Johnathan Lewis. Thank you guys for watching and for joining us this evening. Our show's a little late because we had some daddy stuff to do. And with my kids, they had some cool programs and stuff going on. So, I got to go and enjoy that.
We're just on BP time. Don't let them bush us,
Before we get too far into anything, we're going to talk about a couple things. First, I got a couple of people to introduce. My guest, Mr. Chris Nettles.
Hello.
And in the back, you already know who it is, Mr. Dudley, working master control, making all the magic happen. Mr. Dudley, what's going down, man?
What up, yo?
Not much, man. How's your week been, brother?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Yep. Making progress on things?
Yeah.
Forward movements?
Oh, yeah.
If y'all don't know about Dudley, he does big things. Big things.
Yeah, for real. Let me move my jacket.
Behind the scenes. That's where all the money's at.
Exactly, behind the scenes. Y'all have no idea. If you don't know that, then you're on the wrong side of the camera too much, probably. Well, or maybe not enough. One of the two. Anyway, but what we're going to do today is we're going to just talk about some bullshit because we don't really have much of anything that's...
Nothing scripted, baby.
And it never is, you know what I mean? But the real shit is that, there's not a whole lot that seems to be going on in the news with the impeachment thing going on and all that. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that, and then we're going to talk about the Nick Cannon and Eminem thing. We're going to get into that in a little bit too. But before that, though, what we're going to talk about is I'm going to let Mr. Chris here tell you guys about the Realness of Relationships group and the show that's coming about. So why don't you let us know
real quick, if you're not a member of the group, Realness of Relationships, you can just type it in your search column on Facebook. And I don't know, is it an open group? Can they?
I believe it is an open group.
Okay, then you should just be able to join. If not, then Jonathan probably has something little for you to do to be able to access the group.
Yeah.
But real fast, what it's going to be about is just getting different people's perspective. Me and I'll have a co-host, Terry Lewis. If you don't know him, go ahead and request him as well. We'll put a link on or something so you can go to his page. We'll be just getting to the meat and potatoes and skipping all the bullshit. Can I say bullshit on here?
Yeah.
Skipping all the bullshit and all the fabricated shit that society makes you believe and think in relationships, and getting a good, genuine male and female perspectives, because we'll be having guests and hopefully we can find a female co-host to be there for all you ladies. Woman power. We're all for that as well. There's nothing biased over here. Not too much, at least. But it's real. It's real. It's relationships, and that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be real the whole time, and we're gonna skip all the superficial and fabricated stuff, and we're gonna get down to the real nitty gritty and the meat and potatoes. And hopefully, it can help a lot of people in the relationships, or just help you think from a different perspective. Because that's what we're all about over here at JPL. Is thinking outside the box. I know that's a cliche term, but a lot of cliche terms actually come from meaning, so people just saying so much and just use them as something to say to sound real. But some of these things people actually do live by. That's one of the things that we do live by. Thinking outside the box, So yeah, be sure to tune into that. Look for it. You'll see it on my page. You'll see it on Jonathan's page. Pretty sure Doug will share it too. Just look for that to come, because I believe that's going to be something really, really big.
Yeah, and I think that the purpose of the show, of course, it's like you said, it's really to be insightful for people, to really open the door to understand. You don't have to be secret about it, man. We smoke here.
I didn't know if you wanted to. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Like it's a note under the table. Now here's the question.
I've been smoking. Well, this might be incriminating, but I don't think I can get charged with this. But I've been smoking before weed became legal. So some of my smoking before weed became legal habits are still instilled within me, because it's been a long time that I was doing this before it became legal here.
I was supposed to be like this, Daily.
About that. I did. That looked obvious to the motherfucker. I'm out here smoking too. All right, yeah.
The funny thing is that it's like you thought the camera was like a teacher at the class with the back turned, because you looked at me like this. You're like,
oh wow.
You're like this. You're like.
Like you want this? I was even saying it under my breath. I don't think you heard me because you were talking. But anyway.
What was I saying anyway?
Man, I couldn't tell you.
Here you go, Mr. Dudley. Yeah, he's not trying to cross the camera here, Chris. You want to pass it? He tries to stay at the backside. It's been a good week, man. I've had a really good week. We started working. Oh, that's what I was saying about the show. It's about insight, and it's about, like you said, like Chris was saying, it's about people being able to observe and gain from other people's perspectives and experience in relationships. And it's not about bashing anybody and all that. Like, and even in the
and leaving all the bias. I'm sorry to cut you off, but leaving all the biased and BS opinions. Like, it's all about the look at the title and look at the name of the show and the group, and that's what it's actually about. The realness of relationships, not any of your bitter emotions because of past experiences, and just like how all the posts when they ask for men and women's perspective on the subject, it just gets to men bashing or women bashing, you know what I'm saying? Just a whole bunch of bias and bullshit opinions because of past experiences. No, we're gonna really talk about real stuff to help people, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even help yourself, or even if you do have to vent or get something out, it's not gonna be in a offensive manner. We're gonna everybody's gonna stay. We're gonna try to keep it as neutral as possible. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some heated topics and there's gonna be some disagreements and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna be a boring wholesome show.
The nature of the show, there's gonna be.
But we're trying to keep most of the bullshit out of it. Go ahead.
The nature of the show, is people are going to have their feelings about things, but the whole purpose is to get past the feelings and start to understand, the actuality of things and have an open-minded understanding, but. There was something else you had said a second ago that
I said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then it just threw me. The rest of it threw me off because then I knew there was other stuff I needed to say. I forgot.
So how
I'm sure
you
it'll come
talk
back in the middle of
fast,
talking
so you
about
say a
something else. I'm sure. Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. Is the realness of relationships isn't even just about relationships like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or those type of relationships. It's about relationships with anybody in general, because there's our whole existence is kind of surviving through other people and by other people and with other people.
Based on relationships.
All relationships, all of them. So
even
we'll
with
be
your
discussing
child,
a whole bunch of different
even
things.
with your children,
you guys anyway.
Even with your parents, everything.
And I was hoping Terry could be here tonight. You know what I mean? Maybe he's watching right now. I'm not sure, but I think he was just busy. Is all it is. But either way, hopefully he's watching right now if he's not. And then maybe he can chime in or something. If you guys are watching right now, as a matter of fact, go ahead and comment down there on the comments, and we'll interact with you throughout the show because we are live right now.
Or you can call in to my face. This is the only time I'm going to open. Are we live still?
Yeah, we're still live.
This is the only time I'm going to open
run that one.
My Facebook Messenger to just be able to be called like this. So you can call in, and we can talk about stuff, and I will actually answer and put you on speakerphone. Don't say anything ignorant, because I will hang up fast.
And if you call right now, then we're going to throw in a set of knives for just $99.99 and
brought to you by Gift. No, I'm not going to say the name because they're going to owe us some money.
Yeah, we ain't trying to pay nobody.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to get paid and then buy some set of knives.
If this blows up, they might owe us. Anyway,
yeah, who knows?
But I didn't say the name, so it doesn't matter.
All together? Uh-oh. Yeah, you need to hit that live is what it's looking like, the control. Technical difficulties for a second. Sorry. What was I about to say? Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, nope, it's not quite that time yet. 2 minutes we're going to be taking a break, or in a minute or two we're going to be taking a break. But yeah, the realness in relationships, man. I'm kind of looking forward to getting that whole production rolling, which is going to be on Wednesdays, by the way. The time will be.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty entertaining. Because if you know me or you know Terry, you know anything can be said and anything can happen because we get pretty different.
See, the whole idea is that it's an open dialogue for people to really just kind of discuss things. Even in the group, it's all about respecting one another. It's all about, understanding that we're being open-minded to different ideas. Now, sometimes, it's like you said, things get heated. Sometimes people kind of clash a little bit. And sometimes it's not about steering people in one way of thinking or another. It's just about showing that there are other ways, whether you agree with it or not. There's other ways that people do things for a reason. How funny does that look? I look like I'm over here with a coffee cup, like I'm going to take a sip. And I'm over here ashing a blunt, and there you go. Try to hit this, or what, sir? I'm about to put this out, and in a minute, as a matter of fact, it's that time. We're about to run this break. Mr. Dudley? Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to run a break.
He said, yeah, we're going to run a break. Yeah. That don't sound too good. But don't go nowhere. It's only a 1 minute break, so we will be right back. Bring your fur baby into Just for Canines and Kitty too. We have all of the best items for your cat, dog, pup, or kitten in stock. From pet beds to toys, we have everything you can think of.
We carry the best selection of pet hygiene products and a huge selection of cat and dog foods. Spoil your pet by letting us give them the full treatment from massage to complete bath and grooming. We also offer our mobile grooming services. Be sure to stop in today or give us a call. Just for Canines and Kitty 2, your pet's favorite place to go. You have a list of things to get finished, and life isn't slowing down anytime soon. This, That, and the Other is prepared and experienced to get you to having things
Joe
done.
Powell with Solutions Auto Group right here at the new location in Duncan, Oklahoma. I was fortunate enough to hire Thomas Lewis and his staff. They're TT&T. I hired them for 3 or 4 weeks. They did a lot of renovation work here at the new location. They did a lot of cleaning. They did a lot of painting. They showed up on time every day, and they went to work. Could not have been any more pleased.
Call This, That, and the Other, renovation, small construction, and more today. We cover all of the details. Wax, wash, and shine, your vehicle is guaranteed to come out shining. Let us pay attention to the detail. We're here to vacuum, wash, and deodorize your vehicle on a professional level. Don't leave it to the other guys to miss things. We see them all. Do you have a fleet of vehicles? We're equipped to take on all the vehicles your business has too. Keep your business vehicles looking the best they can. Stop by today and schedule with us or message us on Facebook. Full Throttle Detail, located at 1601 Northwest Sheridan Road in Lawton.
And we got mics. What? What? We're back. And if you're watching, you're back with us. And I don't know, what's some smart ass to say right there might fit?
Kawazo! That's my new catchphrase, y'all. I'm gonna say that really is a relationship. Kawazo!
So watch us next week when we introduce you to our new host. No, I'm just playing. No, okay, so I have to talk about this for a little bit. The impeachment deal. It's like it's kind of consuming everything for a little while now. They're pushing forward with the 2 articles or whatever that they've got, and it really looks like he's about to get impeached. What do you guys think is going on with that shit? What you think? Have you been keeping up with it at all?
Man, in my opinion, right now, from what I've seen growing up and when I really was into politics, it was really influencing my parents. But it's all become like everything else. Everything is based on ratings and views. I feel like how they chose the last president was just, they made it like television. And when you really look back on everything, that's really how it's been. And as far as Donald Trump being impeached, shit, they had evidence to impeach him a while ago. He just had a fall guy and really threw him under the bus, and he got fired. If you really, I think that was like within 8-9 months into his first term, into this term. If you go back and research that. So as far as them actually going through with it, and him being charged and being actually impeached. Me myself personally, I had to wait and see because I don't believe it's gonna happen.
You don't think so?
I don't.
I would go into the details of my theory of what might happen, but it would make me sound crazy, and so I'm not gonna do that. But if you watch The Simpsons, just know it has something to do with that.
Oh no!
What? Hey man, they on point, bro.
Bro, somebody's gonna catch a charge for that. Like, nah, too much.
Think about this.
Why is it that you know this much? If it's not,
they had some of the shots involving Trump in The Simpsons down to the actual photograph of how it was drawn, bro. Like, uncanny resemblance.
it's not even the ending, because I know what you're referring to. I know what happens in the end, but like, they've had a few instances where they were predicting things about Trump, and yeah, they've been. I'm talking about like to background imaging, everything. Like, they had stuff really down. Like, did somebody from the future come back and write this? Or,
that's what I'm saying. There used to be that it wasn't like a real rumor. I don't think people believed, but I remember back in the day they used to say that the guy who wrote The Simpsons was a time traveler, and that he'd come back, and that he was using the cartoon as an avenue to tell people about things that were upcoming. And he did that with a number of different things. Did it with 9/11.
Yeah, they have a lot of evidence to prove that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There was a whole bunch of different things that he actually was.
Wow.
You know. So, and that's kind of why I'm like, well, if it goes based on the Simpsons prophecy of whatever year that was, because it was a while ago that they put that out, you know, it could be pretty messed up. I'm just gonna say it like that, man.
Hey, we probably need to move forward.
I was like, I didn't write that shit.
I don't want to say anything.
I watched it as a kid. And here we are today.
And I'm not promoting it, but that's what they said.
You know, here's where my concern is at, okay, outside of the impeachment, the next election, I can't tell you that I really know much of anything about most of the people running.
Man, he'll probably win it again. If he doesn't get impeached, he runs again. That's just how everything's set up, man. It's all built on controversy. That's how the United States itself, man, that's all people care about, man. That's
like popularity contest.
Yes, and that's all that it's been, because he didn't deserve to.
But I think
what was he gonna do?
I think there's more things involved than what we see. You know what I mean? And there's always more going on. So like all this surface stuff that we see is just that. It's all surface stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all happening because it's meant to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because other people have put it into play how it's happening. It goes beyond what we see and what we think that we know of it. At least that's my opinion, and I'm sure that there's a lot of evidence that could, you know, make some sense of that. But I feel like in the end,
that was the whole point I was just making. But it doesn't mean that. Like, we're talking about something that really doesn't even mean anything, because the president really doesn't run anything. I understood what you were just saying. You were just beating around the bush. Like, in the words of Greg Eminem, you was beating around the bush like the scared of me pussy, so you eat around the tush. Like you were saying, you was trickling over the topic that. It's more than the shit that we see, the shit that they're showing us. It has nothing to do with why the president is elected or who the president is or anything like that. Like, it's way more stuff behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? That service level shit that you see on TV doesn't even really fucking matter. Like, that's not. Yeah. It has nothing to do with really with controlling anything or really what's happening. What I was going to say, the president. If you know anything, even about what they tell you without doing any research, just at a surface level in school, if you pay attention, like throughout the government, like the president only has so much power. Like he can't just pass a law. Like the things that presidents say they're going to do, they're going to fight for. But that doesn't mean that laws are going to get passed because it has to go through different branches of the government. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be voted on by a numerous amount of people before the law gets passed, you know, and some people that have way more power than the president. The people who are on Senate, they've been there for like 30, 40 years. Those are people that have power, you know what I'm saying? The president only comes 8 years at the most, at the maximum. So he's only even
there's one other circumstance that could get 10 years out of it, maybe even more, but.
Okay, well, I don't know.
But those are like special circumstances.
But that's even 10 years. That still pales in comparison to how long these people who
and like Congress and all that.
Yep. And so they only even tell the president so much stuff. You know, like the things that are really known, like what really goes on behind the scene, the president is even oblivious to. You know, like the president is just a tool. You know, it's a representative. Mm-hmm. It's a.
You know, in the end, I feel like ultimately. I believe me and Daniel were talking earlier, and we were talking about war and peace and like riots and protests and stuff like that. And in the end, it doesn't really matter who's president or any of that. You know, if we really want things to change about whatever, because they are all kind of puppets. You know what I mean? In some sense, we really have to kind of take politics into our own hands by like unifying without protest. You know what I mean? Because it's only when we unify without protest that we truly hold the power to be able to control the circumstances that we're in. You know what I mean? So in the end, it doesn't matter. We could really change things for what we want them to be, but there's just not enough people that really come together. So that's why we'll keep on. It don't matter which person's voted. Like you said, it don't matter because they're just the next one.
And they've shown you that it really doesn't matter, even if it's proven that votes or voted for another person, whoever they want to win, they're going to make that person win. They showed you that with Bush. Like, he lost and still won. So, yeah, it really doesn't fucking matter. I mean, so this is just a topic. I don't want to get to government.
Let's move on, though. I want to move on to talk about
the battle.
The battle of the city.
It is not even a battle because one person hasn't even fucking responded yet.
No, it was one man. One man.
One man with another man.
Decision
Hey, but he posted
to
something.
challenge Eminem to a battle rap again
That sounds pretty good.
or not.
Really, with no effects.
What do you
With no
think?
effects.
Good, man.
Nick Cannon is the has-been. No, I'm just playing. He's not really has-been because he's pretty current and shit, really. But you know what I think is
Not
funny
rap.
about the shit? Not rap.
Go
Right?
ahead. What's
You know what I think is
funny
funny about this shit is all of it. Because every single bit of it.
Comedy, so why wouldn't it be funny?
I mean, but he's like trying to be serious, and I get it, man. He's upset about some shit that happened a long time ago.
No, he's upset about it's a recent. But what people don't know, if you don't know, Eminem was recently on a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but he said something about Mariah. Then he said something about Nick Cannon specifically in the song, and the bars were dope. Nick Cannon had no choice but to come back with something. He should have just did something on the show and did like a skit
So
about
they're
it.
both like keeping this long shit.
Yeah.
Alive.
So that was really Nick Cannon's response to that part of his verse. At the next break, I'll Google it and I'll tell you what it is. But you can just Google it.
I listened to the first one that he released, not pray for him or something like, not that one. The first one, The Invitation, and he had a short verse, and I listened to it and I'm like, I don't know, man. Overall, like I just didn't really. I guess now that I have a little bit more background on it, it makes more sense to me. But I just really didn't. I thought the track sounded good, and I thought the verses were good. But I didn't really hear anything that was too much to make me like, man, hey, I would have to drop something to get back at that, bro, because you can't just do me like that on the track.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like it was just really like some Nickelodeon rap type shit to me more than anything.
Yeah, but shit, on this song that Nick Cannon dropped, because he had a couple of his Wild Out cast members. He had Hitman Holler. He had Charlie Clips.
Yeah, why were they all trying to be for Eminem?
It was Casita was on there too.
Yeah.
A couple of their verses were pretty dope though.
Yeah.
Hey, but I've seen some posts from Eminem's music entourage. His entourage is very vast with some killers in it. And they were like, "Well, you better chill out." Trying to jump Eminem on these beats before we all get on your ass.
Man.
And it was just so real because he named all of them. And
I said they just do the battle. I said he goes on the show and he does the battle, because if he just goes on and does the battle, eats him up, then it can be done at that, and then they can leave it alone.
I don't think it.
They're not gonna do it. They won't do it.
Nah.
They'll never do it, because there would be some
much
reason.
bad
They would come
blood.
up with some reason to not do it.
It's
you
too
know
much
what I mean?
bad blood and it's too much pride. Between those two type of people, you got to understand those are both bosses, respectively in their field. So like it's a lot of pride. Unless men can actually be men and put pride. People say put pride, another cliche term, but it actually applies. Yes, like you got to understand that applies in some situations when it's men who are on a boss level like that. Pride, they're just naturally prideful. You know what I'm saying? They're always right, and so if it's
This is
been
kinda
any type of
NASCAR
disrespect,
being.
it's hard for them to even put that type of thing to the side. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So if they could actually do that, that would get a lot of respect in my eyes. But nobody's gonna want to see that. People are gonna say, "Oh, you're a bitch," or "You're," you know what I'm saying, "Y'all punked out," or whatever the fuck. But that's real man shit. You know what I'm saying? Be able to two bosses putting their projects aside and having him on his show would do great for both of them. You know?
Right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm at. I feel like I would rather, put my pride to the side and say, you know what, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go on the show. I'll battle with you, and just to, if things ain't,
That won't happen for a lot of reasons.
I mean, if they're like on some fight level shit, then I feel
I imagine that it is though. You know, because I mean,
they both kind of they getting up there now, man. You think they really have to throw some hand shit still like that? Like, they ain't in their 30s, bro. They both older than I am.
They just gonna
You know what I'm
work
saying?
it out.
30s, 40s. Eminem's in his 40s, ain't he, bro? Like, no, yeah.
And you got to think it might not even result. Just think, even if Eminem.
I mean, it's easy to
think about this
it's
scenario.
easy to get on the track and make your voice. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
You can
But
sound
think about
aggressive,
this
but like,
scenario. Say they bury the hatchet, Eminem does decide to come on the show. He brings his entourage, and Nick Cannon's entourage. Just because those two men squashed it doesn't mean everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? So that
That's a
could
good point.
potentially lead to some bullshit behind other people.
Yeah,
'Cause
that is a
that
good
has
point.
happened a lot of times in rap beefs and everything. Like a lot of people have gotten shot at. You know what I'm saying? Behind hype man shit. It's not even the initial people that were involved in the beef.
Yep.
It's
It's always
the
the
people that's
extra shit
around them.
inside.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, just think that's what we're all about. Thinking outside of the box.
You know, the last
What's the
couple of people that were
couple?
here on the show, man, we talked about like local music and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know you do music and all that. We do music and all that.
Yeah, I dip a dabble here and there.
A little bit. What you got coming up? Let's talk about what you got coming up, and then you can tell me some of your thoughts on the local scene,
Well,
because we seem to get a lot of, we seem to get more people involved in rap music and hip hop from our area here than anybody else.
Okay, right now I'm working on a couple things. I'm actually producing your album.
Rapper in the suit.
I'm going to be producing. I'm
2020.
gonna do a little, because everybody has been on me since I started doing music about doing a solo thing, but I'm always integrating so many things, and I do so many things like a solo album. I don't know, I just never did. I never had aspiration or inspiration to do it. But now I'm going to. Just a little 12 song album, you know, make you want some more, because I know you will, because everything that I've done so far is pretty freaking hot. But yeah, other than that's, and if you don't know Jeremy Brown, Germs, he's been producing lately, and his beats are freaking fire. So he's gonna produce a good portion of that, if not all of it. I might produce a couple songs on there, but I don't know. I really don't like rapping in my beats. But yeah, so I have those 2 projects coming up, and I just intermingle with everybody. So shit, I produce a lot for everybody. But yeah, that's what I got going for
Tell me about the
music.
website that you got coming out.
Oh yeah, Chris Davis Music is just it's gonna be a hub for everything. You know, all my fans. I put all the throwback stuff that everybody keeps asking me for, and then you also have some new stuff. And since I'm getting older and up there, you know, I've decided to take some youngins under my wing. So you'll be seeing some young artists coming out from under me, and you'll be able to tell that they come out from under me because they'll be actual musicians.
Just in case some of y'all out there didn't
Actual
realize that
artists.
you weren't.
Actual artists. Yeah, everybody's not an artist. I mean, a lot of people rap, some people don't rap, but everybody's not an artist.
Let's talk about the local music scene then, with other stuff going on. How much do you know about like the things that are taking place here that are coming out? What do you think about some of the albums and music that you've heard that's dropped recently, and who do you think is somebody that's relevant to our area, or who are upcoming people from our area that you think?
Well, in my opinion, everybody who's rapping is relevant to the era. As long as you're doing it for something, you know what I'm saying? As long as you have a respect for the artistry and for the music, it really doesn't matter how hard you go, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to, and me, I have respect as far as music locally, you know what I'm saying? So coming from someone like me, as long as you have respect and love for it, and I see what you're getting at, and you're actually trying to do your best at it, you're going hard to me. So it doesn't matter really.
So it doesn't even matter like what you're.
But I appreciate talent and greatness also. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
That's real.
Because people say just because somebody's not good at it, they suck. But the people who suck are the people who are just playing with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Could be better, but don't even care to be, and they're not even trying, and they don't even respect it. Those are the people who suck to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, if anybody's upset about that, I don't apologize. I don't care. We can talk about it. Yeah, that's just my opinion. But as far as local people, I mean, I've listened to a little bit of everybody. The people I like the most, I've always had love for Keys. I was there when he first really started getting serious about his music, you know what I'm saying, and started evolving. I fuck with Menace too. C-Lane is dope. Like he's pretty dope to me. I didn't know him I didn't know that I knew him because he had went away for a little bit and then he came back on. He came back to the scene and was snapping. I was like, who the hell is he? But I remember him.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But shit, all the old heads are the ones who still go hardest to me. Like, hey, Mitch.
10:35.
10:35.
It's about time for that break, isn't it?
We about to break.
I think
they're in the middle of just talking with Johnathan. But
well, you can tell us when we get back.
All right, fine.
That works good. So we'll take this break real quick. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Drop some comments down there if you're watching right now, so that way we can talk back with you, because we'll talk shit with you live right here. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
Bring your fur baby into Just for Canines and Kitty too. We have all of the best items for your cat, dog, pup, or kitten in stock. From pet beds to toys, we have everything you can think of. We carry the best selection of pet hygiene products and a huge selection of cat and dog foods. Spoil your pet by letting us give them the full treatment from massage to complete bath and grooming. We also offer our mobile grooming services. Be sure to stop in today or give us a call. Just for Canines and Kitty 2, your pet's favorite place to go. You have a list of things to get finished, and life isn't slowing down anytime soon. This, That, and the Other is prepared and experienced to get you to having things
Joe
done.
Powell with Solutions Auto Group right here at the new location in Duncan, Oklahoma. I was fortunate enough to hire Thomas Lewis and his staff. They're TT&T. I hired them for 3 or 4 weeks. They did a lot of renovation work here at the new location. They did a lot of cleaning. They did a lot of painting. They showed up on time every day, and they went to work. Could not have been any more pleased.
Call This, That, and the Other, renovation, small construction, and more today. Your small business is ready for the next level of marketing. Having the right tools in hand can help catapult your business into the place it deserves to be. From custom commercials that are ready for broadcast to the professional voiceover that you need for your business phone recording or a radio commercial, we build it all in-house. Sign up with us today and see how all of our plans offer exactly the tools that you need. And more importantly, they don't break the budget you set for marketing. Call and visit us online at lookandlawton.com today. Let's get your business to the next level. lookandlawton.com.
Hi.
Are we back with audio?
Yeah, we are back with audio.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
Just talking with Jonathan Lewis. Oh, that's my, maybe we're going to have everybody.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
If
fine.
you're watching, you know, you're watching Just Talking with Johnathan Lewis. Thanks for watching. Come back. Yeah, we were talking before the show about having guests start doing the little promo thing, saying, you know, you're watching or be sure to watch it. We're going to use that little clip for his.
Yes! That's going to be a good one.
I think it's going to be good. Maybe it'll go viral. Who knows? Yeah,
Just talking.
just talking.
Him,
You
that
know,
guy.
That guy.
It's his show.
Whoever he is. Nobody knows who the fuck I am, bro.
Everybody don't know.
But they do. They just didn't know yet. I've really been in your dreams all this time. You just didn't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm there somewhere. I might be a pillow or some shit taking shape in another form. Look, he's like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, what were you saying before we went to the break? I do that kind of shit. Oh, look, I'm all budging the whole table. My boss is going to get pissed off talking about you tearing up the set. All right, look.
You are your boss. Okay. Oh.
I am. I love it.
I didn't know if you wanted people to know that.
You know, I don't know if my boss is cool with us smoking that show blunt, but I'm cool.
Hey, I will ask him right fast. Hey, yo, Jonathan.
Hey, don't be too loud. My boss is going to hear that. You said what?
My camera B is not.
Camera B. Oh, man. It's acting up. Probably just got to reset it. We're having some technical
That's
difficulties.
cool.
So that's why you get to look at Mr. Chris this whole time.
Because, oh, no, that's camera B. No, this camera A.
No, that's camera A.
Yes, perfect. So my, what's her name will be on this one.
Right? Yes? People are probably like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing on the show.
No,
I'm sorry
I
for the
just don't
foul
know.
mouth people. If you didn't know, this is that kind of show that I do talk with some foul language, and so do my guests most of the time.
I'm that kind of
You
guy.
know, I'm very professional, absolutely, in the times that I need to be professional, but a lot of times I don't really have to be. So, you know, I get the liberty of choosing when I have to be. It's great. You know, it really is cool being self-employed. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of benefits to it. Like, pretty much like everything you could think of is some sort of benefit. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And it's cool. So check this out. I want to talk about this. I was telling you guys during the break.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off again.
What
But
you
you
got?
asked me what I was saying, right?
Oh, I
before
did,
we
and then
went.
I started interrupting.
What I was saying is the old heads still go the hardest to me as far as the local music scene.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch is still the best artist out of here, period. Like, there's a lot of other dope ones, and I'm not going to try to name everybody because people get mad, and I really did want to name them, but shit, I'm high. So, yeah, but the older heads still have the music scene as far as I'm concerned. They're legends in my eyes. I look up to them. Anytime I'm in the studio with them, they always inspire me and make me aspire to be better.
That's true.
Even at the level that I've come to as far as music. So, yeah. That finishes what I was going to say right before the break. Now we can move on to, you talk about the schools.
Yeah, in the break I was telling you guys about this group. I didn't even go into the group. Just the fact that this group existed to me is kind of like, whoa. But I can see why, though. Okay, so there's this group that is on Facebook, an ad for it, an actual sponsored ad or whatever, and it's talking about, it was like school districts gone wild or something like that. And it's about like teachers and different things going on in school districts where teachers are getting arrested for these like different crazy off-the-wall crimes and stuff that you wouldn't think teachers are going to do. But it's just going to show like how much more these kind of things are really taking place, that people are really like, hey, we need to do something about this in schools. That's crazy. Schools, of all places, that we're like having to put like a foot down, like, hold up, that's enough of this.
The place your child is supposed to be the safest other than being at home.
I feel like I look like a mobster or something.
You want to make it enough of your parents first. Good word. Good word. See, we're on the same page there. I like it. I like it.
Where's my live filters?
Your family. Your family.
You talking to me, huh?
People are like, what are you talking about?
You talking to me?
Okay, so yeah, so that group, it's crazy that group is this. And I don't know if they're the ones that I saw this video from, but I saw this video not too long before. It was actually before I saw the group. And some of y'all probably seen it. There's a school bus, and views from the camera inside the bus, and it's the driver opens the door for these 3 little kids to come get in. And as they're walking, man, I'm not even joking with you. This car says straight past them, bro. Like if any of them had been even half a step further, that would have just took them all, bro. And that car just kept going.
This is in the United States?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
People just don't really care a lot these days, bro. And
I see some
I'm
crazy
not even
ones.
going to say like, that sounds like saying all people, but it's not, because I think that most people are really good people, and they're really caring people and concerned people. But then, you know, even those people sometimes, even the best of us, have our moments that we're consumed by our own self and our things going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it could have been a simple mistake. They might not have been paying attention, although it was a school bus, you know what I mean? And they cut between the door and where kids are at, so I don't really understand that. But even further beyond, it's like, okay, the idea of, damn, I straight had a high moment like that. Boom, you caught me on camera like that high moment. Okay, so people don't really care as much as either they say they do or they care, and sometimes they're just too clumsy. But I feel like what we're seeing more of is we're seeing more of people not caring as much if it's not their own.
That's the thing.
Back in the day, it seemed to be a little different.
That's the thing. That take a little part of what you said, seeing more of. The things that are magnified and the things that are shown throughout media, social media, anything is always going to be more negative. Nobody magnifies the positive things. You know what I'm saying? There's just as much good going on in this world, because the world is a crazy place. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of bad and a lot of crazy for a whole bunch of different reasons, scenarios, and circumstances. But there is just as much good being put out there as the bad. It's equal. It's a yin and a yang to everything. It's a positive and negative to everything. You know what I'm saying? And there's just as much good being put out there in the earth, in this world, but it's just not being shown. It's not being amplified. It's not being magnified like the bad stuff is, because everybody, I mean, what sells, you know, crime, sex, everything that's really negative, you know what I'm saying, everything that has that can potentially have a negative effect on people. But the positive things are always, they're always pushed.
Like overshadowed.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
They're overshadowed.
So what you said right there, what we see the most.
You know, when the mayor was here, we were talking about this program that they're considering bringing in and implementing here called We Care. And it sounds like a really good idea what they're talking about, because what they're talking about is having people basically come and integrate into the community and then get the community to bond more with itself. You know what I mean? Get people more involved with their neighbors, get them more involved with the kids of the neighborhood, get them more involved with everything, and just really make it where it's more community-based like it used to be back in the day. And to me, I think that the idea is great, but what I think is kind of crazy, though, is the fact that we need, apparently, to pay an outside group of people to come in and do what we should be doing here anyway, which is somebody taking lead and getting to know their community and getting everybody up, you know what I mean? We just don't have enough community leaders like that. I feel like what we see a lot of is our community leaders, not all of them necessarily, but I think the majority of things I see are the community leaders here are ready to jump out there when it's a lot of people are going to be there, but they're not ready to be out there by themselves knocking on doors necessarily. And if they are, I haven't had them knock on mine yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if we're really trying to change communities, we have to bond the communities. We have to get involved with our neighbors. We have to care. I know who my neighbor is over here. You know what I'm saying? I know who my neighbor is over there. And it's because it's better for us to be like that. And we're not seeing people enough get out there and do that. You know what I'm saying? So remember just the other day I was telling you about my neighbor from a few houses down who came down and told me about, they thought they saw somebody around my house. And to me, I'm like, man, that's awesome that she even felt like she was going to come down here and do that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she even felt like she was going to come down here and even get that going. We just need to hit that live on there. The fact that she even came down here to tell me that says a lot. And that's really what communities need more of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was something that led to all of that I was rambling on about, because I feel like I went on for a good minute there. Probably about 7.5. I was playing, that was a joke. It's a bad joke. I got dad jokes. I was telling, was it Daniel or was it you, Dudley? That I was telling that, Mr. Dudley?
Dad jokes.
I got dad jokes. I call them dad jokes / manager jokes.
The ones that embarrass your kids. Oh, Dad.
Yep. Those are the ones.
Those
are exactly the ones.
My kids' friends are going to love me. I'm still going to get the, oh my God, Dad, but my kids' friends are going to be like, your daddy is a fucking hoot. Yeah. But yeah, I got corny jokes too. I
don't really know how my kids' friends take me. They seem like they like me, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of tough. You know what I mean? And people see that I'm tough with my kids. You know what I mean? But my kids, they're freaking awesome. Awesome kids. There was something else that I was want to talk about. Mr. Dudley, what do you have to talk about? We're talking just now with Dudley Page. I just gave you a first and last name. I hope you ain't got no warrants or nothing like that.
DP. Oh, DP.
You know what? You need to be commenting right now so we can see it. And if you're watching right now, go ahead and send me a message to my Facebook too. And I'm cool with that. And I'm going to talk with you also. Do you know that well, this is probably too much information. I was about to just put all my personal business out there. I'm going to skip that.
Okay.
I'm going to skip that. You know what? The realness of relationships.
Skipping.
Realness of relationships. What do you think we're going to start with talking with? Because, you and Terry, as the host, you guys have the leeway of how everything goes. So what do you think are some of the directions that we're going to start taking things?
There's a plethora of things we could talk about as far as relationships go. Like some of the things we said earlier, it's not just relationships between a man and a woman in an intimate way. But we're going to talk about that also. That'll probably be one of the main things that we'll be talking about throughout, every other episode because that's a constant, ever-flowing entity to learn about, We're constantly learning ourselves, That also, relationship with self. It's a relationship with everything. I can't say what the first thing we'll talk about because that's going to be something that we'll brainstorm about and come up with a structure and see what would be the best way to go and start off. And all the things that go behind show stuff. Well, if you don't, that's some of the things that go behind show stuff. But there'll be a wide variety of topics that we're talking about. There's going to be something for everybody. Even relationship as far as with your pets, animals, dogs,
Did you say your fucking plants, bro?
I said pets. Your plants also.
Your plants, animals, dogs.
Some people grow marijuana and they love it dearly. And some people I have actually seen it hurt somebody to harvest their marijuana because they felt it was hurting the plant. So we could talk about that also.
What?
Relationship.
Relationship with anything
relationship with any, huh?
That would be kind of like a waste of time.
That relates to some people.
Mr. Dudley's doing his magic right now, figuring out what's going on. You're gonna have to.
Is the battery dead?
No, that battery's charged. I charged him earlier.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure it was plugged in?
Yeah, it's down here waiting for you to do it.
It's down here waiting for you to do it. Would you hit okay?
If you're watching right now, thanks. I need that view. I really do. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, share this for me. Shit. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, something. They can be like, wow, so I can watch you do this again next time. And I'll be like, yes, because it's great and I love it. Wow! Maybe you could be here on the show. I do want to say this, okay? And I was talking with Mr. Dudley about this earlier. There was apparently a miscommunication. So I'm going to apologize to Mr. Tony Reaper. He was supposed to be on the show this evening. But the show was late because like I said, I had school things going on, and apparently there's a miscommunication between me, him, and the PA. So we're gonna leave that at that, and thanks for coming out, even though the show didn't happen at the right time. I do appreciate your trip out here and all that good stuff. Right? That's the right thing to do.
Indubitably. Also, you came just.
Yeah, and I wasn't here because I was gone at the thing, and I hadn't received word back.
Oh.
Now, when he and I had talked, there was the conversation that took place, and it was just a miscommunication. Ultimately, I feel is what it comes down to.
For sure.
For sure.
Happens in life.
Oh man, we got some new upgrades this week. Yeah, I got that. I got a brand new tripod. I really like it too. It's a pretty good tripod. If you don't know me, I do video stuff and all that. And I love my gear, and I'm all about making my own gear. You can ask anybody. I'm all about buying tools so I can make my own stuff. But I recently just got a new handheld stabilizer, and this thing, I mean, it feels great so far. I'm still working on getting it stabilized because I just got it the other day. But it feels great.
Good.
You good?
Yes,
He said he's
sir.
good. He's tapping. He's tapping. Tap in. He's tapping out. That fake ass.
You got me.
You. Daniel, if you watching, you. We be doing this shit all the time. You.
Oh, you.
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 It's 10:52, and you know what?
You.
Is there an issue?
No.
No?
Oh,
that rhymed.
No A.
No, A?
He said no A.
That's
You
my
know what?
close-up cam.
That sounds like my life right now. No A. It's been a while.
For those of y'all, you never, it's okay.
My last B.
Dudley, you want to catch
Since you
this?
might have lost me, so we lost both?
What?
Yeah, it's not airing anymore, man.
I'm waiting. Hold up. I'm waiting. All right.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Kill the mics. And we're back with mics. Thank you guys for watching. We're pretty much going to toss the show out. Thank you guys, though, for watching. We did have a few technical difficulties, but it was a good show. I'm glad we're just able to sit here and talk about a bunch of nothing, and you can join us next week on Thursday to do the same thing. The show will be at the normal time next Thursday, though, at 7 p.m., not 6 p.m., 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Because people are more responsive to watch then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Well, that's what time the show's been at for a couple weeks now.
Oh, snapperoonies.
So it's been going pretty good.
Snapperoonies, another catchphrase.
That sounds like somebody came up with that.
Snapperoonies? I'm about to Google it. Okay, Google.
Maybe. It sounds like a cereal or something.
Snapperoonies. It does.
SpaghettiOs type thing. So snapperoonies. Get snapperoonies at your local grocery today. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Chris, thanks for joining. Mr. Deli, thanks for doing the thing back there in the back, brother.
Snapperoonies.
Snapperoonies. Hey, y'all make sure you watch. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Hit the damn bell.
Hit the bell.
What's the damn button?
And then share it and like and hit the thumbs up and all that good stuff, and then and spread the shit and make it blow up for some reason because yeah, that's why. Anyway, you've been watching Just Talking with Johnathan Lewis. See you next week. Peace out.